This chilling video has taken social media by storm recently, as a mother recorded her daughter joyfully playing in a wide open space close to a park. The camera unwittingly caught a chilling sight, an unsettling presence that defies explanation. The little girl dashed forward, but then abruptly halted, spinning around as if something sinister lurked just out of sight. Suddenly, her dress was eerily yanked away. Numerous commenters expressed their belief that a hidden force tugged at the girl's dress, suggesting that the incident was linked to something otherworldly. So, the mystery lingers. What truly unfolded in this terrifying footage? The footage playing now is captured from the Mount. The annual Race of Hope unfolds in the eerie landscapes of Bo, Cameroon. The thrilling competition is in full swing as this footage was captured.
Look very well to see Uncle Aristide. These are people coming, so you shine your eyes to see Uncle Aristide. Shine your eyes to see Uncle Aristide.
During the race, unsettling small explosions erupted, resulting in injuries to 19 individuals. Many of them were those taking part in the competition. Without a doubt, this was no mere coincidence. In a shocking twist, it was a deliberate act by rebels, and astonishingly, it resulted in no casualties. This frightening footage was shared on Instagram by the user Ghost Golden Guns in 2023, but it has only recently begun to capture widespread attention, spreading like wildfire across social media. As the uploader recounts, mere days after settling into their new abode, unsettling occurrences started to manifest. Initially, it was just a series of strange sounds and an eerie atmosphere that sent chills down my spine. But as time went on, the occurrences intensified and turned into something that couldn't be overlooked. Intrigued and unsettled by the bizarre happenings, he started capturing every eerie moment on his phone.
Yo, what up? Ghost Golden Guns over here, and I'm going live right now because that's why. Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? What the f***? What the f***? Who is out? Oh my god. Oh my goodness, what the f***? Hello? Who is there? Oh my goodness, please stop. What the f***? Please stop. Please stop. This is my house. Leave. Leave. This is my house. You're not allowed here. Leave. Oh my goodness. Hello. Oh my goodness.
In the terrifying footage, eerie objects appear to shift on their own, leaving viewers with an unsettling sense of mystery. Yet what unfolded next was even more unsettling. One eerie night, as unsettling sounds reverberated through the house once more, the man clutched his phone, determined to uncover the source of the disturbance, and that's the moment he caught this chilling footage.
What the f***?
A chilling silhouette looms ominously at the bedroom door, lurking in the shadows and observing him in eerie silence. It hovers ominously for a heartbeat, frozen in time before gradually slipping away into the shadows. The man, visibly shaken by this eerie sight, attempts to maintain a facade of normalcy, but what unfolds next sends him spiraling into a realm of terror. On yet another night, an even more chilling event unfolds.
What the f?
A ghostly silhouette materializes at the threshold of the man's bedroom. He moves forward with trepidation, but just as he nears, the silhouette evaporates, fading away as if it had never existed in the first place. Shaken to his core by the terrifying scene he just experienced, the man resolves to escape the nightmare and seeks refuge at a friend's home for the night. What could he have possibly witnessed that fateful night within the confines of his own home? Was it merely a trick of the light, a figment of his imagination, or could it be something far more sinister, something that lurked in the shadows of the unknown? Let me know in the comments. One night, a woman named Haley was home alone with her 3-year-old son when something strange suddenly happened. The house had been completely quiet, nothing out of the ordinary, until her son started crying and screaming while staring into the corner of the room. He kept saying that something was there, something that scared him, but when Haley looked, she couldn't see anything at all. Concerned and confused, she grabbed her phone and started recording, thinking maybe she could figure out what frightened him so badly.
There's nothing in here. Okay, I don't see it.
At first, the video looks normal. Her son is clearly shaken, pointing toward the same dark corner over and over again, insisting that something is standing there watching him. Haley tries to calm him down, telling him there's nothing there, but he refuses to look away. Then something strange happens that she didn't notice at the time. As the child points toward the corner, a faint shadow appears along the wall for just a moment before disappearing. It's easy to miss at first, but when you watch closely, the shadow doesn't match the movement of the boy's hand at all. It moves differently, almost like it has a shape of its own. At the same moment, a quiet sound can be heard in the background, like something shifting or brushing against the wall. Haley didn't react to it while filming, which makes it even stranger, because it means she didn't notice anything unusual until she watched the video later.
What is it? Maybe there's nothing in here. What is it?
After seeing the footage, she said she had no explanation for what her son was reacting to, and she couldn't understand where the shadow or the sound came from. Some people think it's just lighting or camera distortion, while others believe the child may have seen something that was invisible to anyone else. So what do you think he was pointing to in that corner? You won't believe this insane doorbell footage in Hayward, California. The construction crew accidentally hit an underground gas line, causing a terrifying incident that left 6 people injured. It was said that they were rushed to the hospital, yet there has been no word on their status or well-being at the time this video was produced. In a small, dimly lit apartment, a young man named Sam thought he had found the perfect deal. The rent was unusually cheap, the place was in a good location, and it seemed almost too good to pass up. But when he mentioned the apartment to a few people in the building, their reactions immediately made him uneasy. Several residents warned him that strange things had happened there before. They talked about lights flickering for no reason, loud noises coming from empty rooms, and previous tenants moving out suddenly without much explanation. Some even claimed the last people who lived there left in the middle of the night. Sam didn't believe any of it. He wasn't the kind of person who believed in ghosts or anything supernatural, and he assumed the stories were just rumors people told to make this place seem more interesting than it really was. He moved in anyway, convinced that there had to be a normal explanation for everything. For the first few days, nothing seemed wrong. The apartment was quiet, maybe a little too quiet, but nothing he couldn't get used to. Then one night, not long after he had fallen asleep, he suddenly woke to a strange noise coming from somewhere inside the apartment. As he stood there, he noticed shadows moving along the walls. Even though nothing around him was moving, the air felt heavy, like the room suddenly got colder for no reason. Before he could react, something in the room suddenly shifted. A small object slid across the table and fell to the floor. Then another thing moved, and then another. Within seconds, items started flying off the shelves and hitting the ground like someone was throwing them, even though no one else was there. Sam froze. His heart was pounding so hard he could hear it in his ears. In that moment, all the stories his neighbors told him came rushing back. The flickering lights, the noises, the people who moved out without warning. Whatever they experienced, he was now seeing it for himself. He backed away slowly, not taking his eyes off the room. Nothing else moved, but the feeling that something was there didn't go away. It felt like he wasn't alone anymore, like something unseen was standing just out of sight, watching him. That was enough for him. He didn't try to figure out and didn't wait for it to happen again. He grabbed what he could, left the apartment, and decided he wasn't staying there another night. But the question that stuck with him afterward was even worse than what happened inside that room. Was the apartment really haunted, or did whatever was in there follow him when he left? In Pakistan, a truck suddenly veered out of control after a tire blew, hurtling towards a group gathered by the roadside, creating a heart-stopping moment of terror. Fortunately, the truck decelerated as it neared, providing just the right moment for everyone to flee without injury. Prepare yourself for a chilling experience as we delve into the unsettling footage captured by a night security guard stationed in a cemetery that houses a crematorium. For those unfamiliar, a crematorium is a chilling establishment where the department are transformed into ashes through the process of cremation. The remains are carefully placed into urns, which are then held by the family of the one who passed on. On this chilling night, as a security guard carried out his usual patrol through the eerie building, an unimaginable terror unfolded.
Turn off automatically at a certain hour, and I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna walk you through now. I have a friend that works that he would see and hear things coming from these furnaces when they're burning the bodies. So when I'm walking through here, they usually put the urns out to send to the families. So when I'm walking here at night, I walk right by these urns that they put on these tables here. And then I come down, freaking out.
At first, the guard was startled by an eerie sound echoing in the darkness. As he spun around, an urn from the far corner of the room began to tremble ominously, but this one starts to shift while every other urn remains completely still. The guard's heart raced as he stumbled back, fear gripping him tightly. Before pausing to regain his breath, he noticed something chilling. It's as if a figure had emerged from the shadows. In that chilling instant, the man was gripped by terror and bolted away in panic. The security guard claims this was the most horrific experience he has ever encountered. He vowed to never set foot in that place again. He is now convinced that the crematorium is filled with restless spirits. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. This video is short but terrifying. Take a look. This honestly felt like a scene ripped right from a horror film. A chilling incident occurred when a transporter Diana bus crashed into a pickup truck in the eerie village of Candelaria, nestled in Huehuetenango, Guatemala. Some individuals sustained injuries, but fortunately everyone survived. A man named MYUU, who works at a church that also helps manage a nearby funeral home, says he experienced something that left him seriously shaken. According to him, strange things had been happening around the building for a while, but nothing compared to what took place on this particular day.
Aquí platicándole lo que nos está pasando aquí en la FUNE, llegó un cuerpo aquí a pues embalsamar, lo están preparando, ya lo terminaron. Se han estado escuchando cosas raras, se han empezado a ver pues así como sombras, como no sé, algo muy raro que normalmente no pasa aquí. Pues está solo, como podemos ver, no hay nadie, no hay nadie. Y pues se han estado escuchando así como que cosillas raras.
MYUU explained that he was inside the funeral home preparing the room surrounded by several closed coffins waiting for upcoming services. Everything seemed completely normal at first. The place was quiet, the kind of silence you would expect in a funeral home, until he suddenly heard a loud movement coming from behind him.
Miren, como tenemos rato escuchando ruidos aquí en esta zona. Si vemos, pues está solo y creemos que pues hay algo aquí, porque pues se empiezan a mover así como que medio raro. Miren cómo se mueve, miren cómo se mueve. No hay nada. Está mi compañero, pero pues si vemos estamos solos.
When he turned around, he noticed that one of the coffin lids had started moving on its own. At first it shifted slightly, then it moved again, harder this time, as if something inside was pushing against it, trying to get out. MYUU said his heart started racing because he knew that coffin was supposed to be empty. Still, he walked over to it and quickly pulled the lid open, expecting to find something inside, but when the coffin opened, there was nothing there at all. Completely empty. No one else was in the room, and there was nothing nearby that could have caused it to move. He said that moment alone was enough to make him question staying at the job. But a few days later, something else happened that scared him even more. While going down into the basement area of the building, he heard another strange noise coming from the dark hallway below. The sound was loud enough to make him stop halfway down the stairs.
Estamos aquí en la funeraria, otra vez, con ruidos raros. Entonces, pues, está solo. Ahora sí. ¿Cuál pinche que se ve? Que nada. Estoy solo. Estoy solo, la chingada. Estoy solo. A la chingada. A la chingada. A la... No mames.
He didn't see anything at first, but the noise continued, like something shifting or dragging across the floor. Mazio said the feeling he got in that moment was worse than before, like he wasn't alone, even though the building was supposed to be empty. After he shared the story online, a lot of people in the comments told him he should quit immediately. Some even warned him that if something really was in that place, it might not stay there, and that whatever he experienced could follow him home. Others think there could be a simple explanation like loose hinges, airflow, or the building settling, especially in an old funeral home where sounds can echo in strange ways. But the question still stands: what really made that coffin move when no one was inside? Juki, a traveler known online for exploring strange places, once shared a story that happened while staying at a hotel in a quiet remote part of Spain. He and a few friends had checked in late at night after a long drive, expecting nothing more than a normal stay. The hotel itself felt old, with narrow hallways, dim lighting, and that kind of silence you only notice when you're far away from busy cities. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but that changed the moment they stepped into the elevator.
Alright, so it's been doing this for a minute. And there's nothing out there. You need to hit that gym. Wait, you wanna figure it out?
Yeah.
Alright, no, that did something,
No.
Dude, I don't know.
What is going on?
Are we too heavy? Is there someone there? What the?
It was well past midnight when the group got inside and pressed the button for their floor. The door slid shut slowly and the elevator began to move, but almost immediately something felt off. Instead of stopping where they expected, the elevator kept going. Then it stopped on a floor none of them had selected. The number glowing above the door read 16, even though none of them were staying there. Confused, they went back down to the lobby and mentioned it to the receptionist, expecting her to call maintenance or at least seem surprised. Instead, she barely reacted. She calmly told them that the elevator sometimes stopped on the 16th floor by itself, even when nobody pressed the button. According to her, there weren't even any guest rooms in use on that level. It was mostly empty and staff rarely went up there at night. That answer didn't sit right with any of them, but they tried to laugh it off and headed back to the elevator anyway, figuring it was just a mechanical problem.
So this elevator is acting mad weird. We started a few floors up and
Yo. Did we stop? Are we?
This time they pressed the button again and waited as the doors closed. The elevator started moving, then suddenly jerked to a stop between floors. The lights flickered once, twice, and then everything went completely dark. For a few seconds, nobody said anything. The only sound was a low hum of the elevator and their own breathing. One of them tried pressing the buttons, but nothing responded. They were stuck. The longer the silence lasted, the more uncomfortable it felt, like the small space suddenly wasn't as empty as it should have been.
so the power is out. The backup, yeah, there you go. The backup generator's been coming on and off. We've been having the time of our lives. And yeah, we're like cooking a life. Oh, he's cooking something.
What are you doing?
Yep. Yep.
I gotta pee.
Oh, you gotta pee.
It's making my bladder. I gotta pee.
You gotta pee.
I feel like a rapper. Circle, go. I gotta pee.
Oh, yeah.
I'm holding my bladder.
Yep.
I gotta pee. I don't know what else is going on. I gotta pee. It's making me mad. Go on like so. In your I gotta pee. Make it like Bowser.
Guys, this is probably the
Then something strange happened. As the emergency light flickered on for a moment, one of them noticed what looked like a shape in the corner of the elevator. It was hard to make out, just a dark figure standing where no one had been before. When the light flickered again, it looked like it was gone. Nobody could tell if it was a shadow, a reflection, or something else entirely, but the timing of it made everyone uneasy. After what felt like several minutes, the elevator suddenly powered back on. The lights came up, the button slid again, and the car started moving like nothing had happened. The group let out a sigh of relief, expecting the doors to open on the ground floor so they could finally get out.
We're moving. Fine. Thank you.
Where are we
Oh,
going?
wait. Stop.
No.
That's the same one as before.
No.
But when the elevator stopped and the door slid open, the number above the door read 16 again. The same floor, the same one they never pressed, the same one the receptionist said nobody used. None of them stepped down. They just stared at the hallway for a second before quickly hitting the button to close the doors. The elevator went down normally after that, and they made it back to their room without anything else happening. Still, when they watched the recording later, that moment in the darkness stood out the most. The shape in the corner that nobody remembered standing there. So what really happened that night? Was it just a faulty elevator in an old hotel? Or was there something on the 16th floor that didn't want to be left alone? This is one of the craziest videos I've ever stumbled across, and I've been doing this for years now. Watch this. In the eerie atmosphere of Guanajuato, Mexico, a group of individuals embarked on a truck ride to join in the ongoing celebrations. Suddenly, the night was shattered as their fireworks ignited, leading to a terrifying explosion that left everyone in shock. They sustained injuries from it, but fortunately, they were not serious. When YouTuber Kajal27 set out to create an adorable video featuring his dogs, he might have inadvertently recorded something much more disturbing, a shadowy figure lurking in the background. The video opens with the dogs frolicking on his bed, seemingly innocent and carefree. He places the camera on the floor, the lens capturing the eerie stillness of the room, before quietly slipping out to take the dogs outside. Just moments after departing, the footage reveals something truly unsettling, a chilling silhouette that darts across a space in an instant. The shadow darts swiftly, its hue so pale that discerning its shape becomes a chilling challenge. Yet when you take a moment to pause the footage, the truth becomes unmistakably evident. The figure takes on a form reminiscent of a human. To heighten the tension, mere moments after the shadow glides by, a framed picture on the wall starts to tremble violently, as if an unseen force is at play. As Kajal27 steps back into his room, an unsettling oblivion hangs over him, as if he's blissfully ignorant of the chilling events that had just unfolded. It was only after he examined the footage later that he stumbled upon the chilling revelation. This footage is old and rumored to have emerged from the dark corners of the internet. This recording is often regarded as one of the most chilling examples where a genuine apparition is believed to have manifested. In the dimly lit room, a young man sits alone, his eyes glued to the flickering screen of the television. Suddenly, an unsettling event unfolds. From the depths of the unknown, a menacing shadowy figure materializes directly in front of him and then vanishes in an instant. The young man is seized by terror and bolts in the opposite direction. Regrettably, there are no further details about the bizarre footage that surfaced, but reports suggest that the figure captured was entirely shadowy, nearly translucent, rendering it unmistakably non-human. So what do you think this eerie entity could have been? Waverly Hills Sanatorium, a haunting site where countless souls met their tragic fate. Yet there are those who insist that the departed linger on, never really gone. Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky, is frequently regarded as one of the most notorious asylums in America. Constructed in 1910, this eerie building was initially designed to shelter those afflicted by tuberculosis during the peak of what was ominously referred to as the White Plague. Back then, there was no solution, and physicians thought that the healing power of fresh air and sunlight was all one needed. However, Waverly Hills soon transformed into something far more unsettling. It turned into a chilling arena where unsettling methods were put to the test. Some patients faced the harrowing ordeal of having ribs removed, while while others experienced the chilling process of their lungs being artificially inflated with crude balloons in a desperate bid to cling to life. The aftermath was haunting. Countless souls met their doom inside these ominous confines. The toll of lives lost grew so staggering that the hospital built a chilling underground corridor ominously referred to as a death chute. In the shadows of this tunnel, lifeless bodies were stealthily moved to waiting trains, shielding the living from the haunting sight of an unending parade of the deceased. Legend has it that a staggering 64,000 souls met their end in this very place. Today, people say the building is still thick with their eerie presence. Unearthly whispers of young laughter linger in the shadowy corridors. Chilling cold spots emerge out of nowhere, leaving a haunting feeling that invisible watchers are tracking every move. This chilling image was captured by a solitary adventurer who dared to enter the abandoned hospital all by themselves. He remembered nothing unusual during his visit, but the atmosphere felt heavy, as if something unseen lingered just beyond the shadows. Nothing eerie, nothing out of the ordinary. It was only later that night, as he sifted through his photos, that he stumbled upon something truly unsettling. In one chilling image, a shadowy figure appeared to engulf a portion of the frame, leaving an unsettling void. It was an abyss of darkness, swallowing every hint of illumination, revealing just a ghostly silhouette of a head and a body. The shadow seemed to drift further from the lens, yet the man insisted he was completely alone throughout his chilling journey. There was an eerie silence, and the feeling of being utterly alone was palpable. Is it possible that the shadows of those who perished in the hospital still roam its eerie corridors? Or is something more sinister lurking in the shadows? What are your thoughts on this? Some tales of the eerie are steeped in sorrowful pasts, while others emerge from the chilling experiences of those who face the unknown in their daily routines. The footage playing before you was captured by a woman named Shalova, who happens to be a homeopath, yet her job was completely unrelated to the chilling footage she managed to record one eerie evening. What began as a simple evening stroll with family quickly spiraled into a nightmare when drones began crashing down ominously nearby. It seems that they truly experienced the shockwaves, marking the first instance of a witness sharing such a chilling account. It was a thought that lingered in my mind, especially when I witnessed the massive explosions from the drones. The sheer scale of destruction was both fascinating and terrifying. A guy named Franco has a YouTube channel dedicated to delving into eerie and forsaken locations. He frequently explores graveyards under the cover of darkness. In the eerie depths of May 2025, under the cloak of darkness, Franco ventured alone into a cemetery whispered about by locals as a place of restless spirits. According to them, people have encountered terrifying sights within. Just as Franco stepped inside and started to wander among the tombstones, an unexpected event unfolded.
Use my battery now because now my battery's dying. But I am not alone in this specific area. I just hope there's not more people. So I see them again. I started hearing yelling and talking, and that's them right over there. See them? I don't know if they're praying. Or what. Let me see if I can get a little closer and see what they're doing. But I think I'm gonna start heading out of here now. There they are. Santa Maria. I'm gonna get out of here. Because if they see me, they can tell security.
Franco stepped back from the figure and ventured deeper into the eerie cemetery, but just moments later, an even more chilling presence emerged.
Oh my god, I'm like low-key expecting to see a little kid run and grab my leg. It's like I'm expecting a jump scare right now. You guys are probably expecting one too. Oh, and this dude was just buried. Horribly. This is the other tomb with the light on it. I'm not sure what that's about. What the Hold on. I just seen something right over here. I saw it on IR. What was that?
A ghostly, semi-transparent figure glided ominously behind the glass. Franco felt a chill run down his spine as he ventured into the darkness, compelled to uncover the source of the unsettling sounds. However, as he searched, an eerie silence enveloped him, and he found nothing but shadows lurking in the corners. In that chilling moment, a wave of fear washed over him, leaving him feeling vulnerable and exposed. Even though his heart raced with dread, he pushed forward into the depths of the cemetery, but what unfolded next was absolutely chilling.
I keep hearing random stuff. What is that? What the heck is that? Turn off the AR. Turn on my flashlight.
From beyond the ominous grave wall, a chilling visage emerged, its eyes glowing eerily as it fixed its gaze on Franco, and then it disappeared into thin air. Franco felt a chill run down his spine as he cautiously approached to investigate, yet again emptiness loomed. In that chilling moment, Franco's heart raced with fear, and he made the frantic choice to flee the cemetery. Now he is utterly convinced that this location is genuinely haunted, just as the locals have always claimed. What are your thoughts on this? In Dhaka, Bangladesh, the eerie setting of this unsettling security camera footage. On the chilling night of December 9th, 2025, an ordinary evening unfolds, but something unsettling lurks just beneath the surface. Everything seemed fine until a car suddenly swerved, nearly hitting the person on the sidewalk. Honestly, I can't quite grasp how this unfolded. It might be a terrifying crash with another vehicle. It might involve a moment of inattention behind a wheel, or perhaps an even darker choice that leads to dire consequences. Who can say? However, that individual certainly has plenty to appreciate. Absolutely no doubt about it. A guy named Anthony shared a chilling video on his account that rapidly gained traction, amassing over 10 million views in no time. For several weeks, Anthony had been plagued by unsettling sounds emanating from beneath his house, particularly from a small door hidden away below. Anthony pried open the tiny door and set up a security camera beneath the house, determined to uncover the chilling truth lurking in the shadows. Yet what the lens revealed sent chills down his spine.
Well, I just saw the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Watch this.
The eerie footage reveals a ghostly figure gliding through the shadows. It looks nearly human, yet it is terrifying and devoid of any distinct features. Anthony felt a chill run down his spine as he crawled inside, convinced that something or someone was lurking beneath his home.
I can't sleep. There's a security camera. I don't know what I saw. I'm not seeing anything. I don't know what this tarp is. Whether or not there's anything underneath it. I don't see anything. I don't see any signs of life. I don't see any signs of afterlife. I'm gonna get the heck out of here.
Anthony discovered an eerie emptiness, with no signs or remnants to suggest that anyone or anything had ever set foot in that place. Even more unsettling, upon a meticulous examination of the camera footage, he discovered that there was no evidence of anyone coming in or out from beneath the house. So if it wasn't something of this world, what could it possibly be? Bob Gimlin never expected that a routine night shift at a quiet resort would turn into something he still can't explain. He later uploaded a video to YouTube titled "My Paranormal Experience, Some of the Best I've Ever Seen," claiming the footage showed what he believed could be ghost activity. In the description, Bob explained that he worked as a night manager at the resort, and one of his regular responsibilities was checking the spa area several times throughout the night to make sure everything was secure. On the night of October 22, 2016, he headed out on one of those normal patrols. Earlier that day, he had just bought a new iPhone and was excited to test the upgraded camera, especially in low-light conditions. As he walked through the dimly lit spa, he started taking random pictures, mostly just experimenting with the phone and seeing how clear the images would look in the dark. By the end of the patrol, he had taken more than 100 photos without thinking much of it. It wasn't until later, while going back through the pictures, that something caught his attention and stopped him cold.
Remember when I noticed the figures in the frames? But I know it wasn't the night I took them. It must have been in the following days. Which brings us to our first apparition. So first I look down this long, creepy hallway. Then I turn to go into one of the service rooms, have a look about for whatever reason. And then I get fixated on this window at the end of the hall. I take 3 photos of the window. And then one at the floor. The baseboard, maybe. And I must have walked away. I'm looking at the window from a distance, but I'm heading back to it. And then here is the first of several in this sequence that seem to depict something else, to the right of the flash. And if you're not convinced, you can see it better on the live capture, and I'll replay it. Again, I didn't even notice the figure in this sequence until I started working on this video. This was not the subject of this video. I haven't even gotten to the good part yet. And it's easy to think at first that this silhouette is just me, but it's not, because I'm holding the phone in front of my face. And you can even make out that there's no arm between where the figure is and the flash. Just to be clear, I'm holding the phone to my face on the left. To prove that the silhouette on the right isn't me, look at this photo from earlier, from a few photos ago. See, no figure. I'm the only silhouette in the picture, with the flash in front of my face. And then about 10 pictures later, in the same spot, I'm not the only figure in frame.
In one of the shots, he noticed something strange in the reflection of a large window. Standing right next to him, barely visible in the glow of the spotlights, appeared to be a dark figure. The shape looked almost human, tall and still, as if it were standing just inches away from him on the other side of the glass. Bob insists that no one else was in the spa that night, and he's convinced the image shows something paranormal. Many viewers who saw the photo online agreed, saying the figure looks too clear to be a simple reflection or camera glitch. Others think there could be a more ordinary explanation, like lighting distortion or something in the background that only looks like a person. So what do you think? Did Bob really capture something unexplained during his late night patrol? Or is there a logical reason for the figure in the window? Whatever the answer is, moments like this are exactly why some people believe the strangest things happen when the world goes quiet. Check out this chilling footage from a remote Andean community in MYUU, located in the Chincha province of Ecuador. It goes by the name Alai Parish. You'll soon discover why I found myself drawn to this video. Two heavy trucks collided head-on with each other, and it seems the cause was that one of the drivers dozed off. Truck drivers endure grueling hours, facing challenges that can lead to unsettling incidents like this, occurring every now and then. This was a chilling incident, as it resulted in the loss of one life. It's no surprise that the details are scarce, given the isolation of the community. They had been cruising through the darkness when, out of nowhere, something utterly frightening occurred. A chilling clip was posted by a guy on his account and rapidly gained traction, amassing over 170 million views in no time. On that eerie night, as a man and his friends navigated the shadowy road winding through the dense woods, an astonishing and terrifying event unfolded before their eyes. A terrifying figure emerged unexpectedly in the center of the road. One of them chose to step out of the car to explore, but as he approached, he was struck with terror by the creature's strange and chilling visage. The man bolted in terror. The creator of the footage claims to be completely baffled by this entity, stating that it bears no resemblance to any known animal. So, what do you think this eerie entity could be? Drop your spine-chilling theories in the comments below. This doorbell camera footage captured something truly horrifying.
Stairs. Call over there. 911. I will. Yeah, I'm coming. Oh. Hello. 4683. 4683 North Trenton Court. Oh. Fire department. 4683 North Brenton, we need a fire department. 4683 North Brenton Court, fire. Yeah, 4683. Department.
Oh no! Oh my God! Keep our shit strong!
Yes, it's burning. Upstairs, yes. I'm trying to. Get out! Get out! Get out! Everybody out! Jennifer! Jennifer, get out!
We gotta go to the back! Smoke's coming in ours!
In Kentwood, Michigan, a chilling incident unfolded as a fire ignited when neighbors carelessly placed flammable items alarmingly close to the stove. In a frantic effort to extinguish the flames, they dragged what appeared to be a smoldering cardboard into the corridor. However, chaos ensued as the fire erupted from within, engulfing 12 apartments in its terrifying grasp. They banged on the neighbor's door, desperation in their voices, but by the time she understood the urgency, the flames had already engulfed the only way out. The lens fails to capture the horror, yet the desperate mother and her children had no choice but to leave from the balcony. Thankfully, thanks to the bravery of the locals, everyone managed to get out safely. The fire was deemed accidental by the authorities.
Santa Fe. Once de diciembre, Carcarañá.
Picture this, you're sitting back, savoring your drink, when suddenly a tempest erupts without warning. That storm was truly a terrifying sight, resembling either a tornado or a swirling dust devil. I'm not completely certain, but it was a chilling experience, especially with those unsettling clips. The chilling events unfolded in Cacarana, Santa Fe, Argentina, as recounted by the locals who witnessed it all. Nonetheless, I can confirm all of it. A woman named Dallas Clark, a name that might ring a bell for NFL fans, started to feel an unsettling presence in her home, leading her to believe it was haunted. She began to hear eerie sounds, and the surveillance footage revealed bizarre occurrences, but what genuinely sent chills down her spine was a fate that befell her young son. On this eerie day, her son found himself isolated in his room, yet he seemed to be engaged in a heated dispute with an unseen presence.
You don't talk to me. Wait, ghost man. Ghost man, ghost man. Ghost man, you say yes. Your eyes stupid. You don't like me anywhere. Yeah. You want to talk to me, ghost? Uh-huh. You want to talk? You want to talk, ghost? You want to talk to me? I'm gonna beat you up. Cause if you don't be quiet now, I'll go. No, ghost.
The young one whispered to a presence that couldn't be seen, referring to it as a ghost man. The boy takes it a step further, daring to confront the ghostly figure with threats of violence. The youngster shouted at the spectral figure, demanding it to vanish at once.
I'm gonna beat you up. Cause if you don't be quiet now.
Dallas reports that her son continues to insist he can see the ghostly figure lurking around. When she later inquired about that day, he revealed that the figure had enormous eyes and was entirely dark, and from that day forward, the eerie happenings within the house escalated, sending chills down the spine of anyone who dared to enter. Snow has caused numerous issues in 2026. Here's a big example of that.
Seen it way ahead, and I had to go out. I went off the edge. This guy got hit. You got about 100. You got about 100 cars.
All right. You're probably never going to the safest spot right now.
Between Hudsonville and Zeeland, folks. Stay off the highway.
On January 19, 2026 in Michigan, a terrifying snowstorm unleashed chaos on Interstate 196, resulting in a catastrophic pileup involving more than 100 vehicles. The chilling occurrence of whiteout, which obliterates the horizon and shatters depth perception, can leave drivers utterly disoriented in mere seconds. Amidst the turmoil, it seems that no one was harmed. In the dead of night, a man jolted awake, startled by an eerie and unsettling sound coming from the front of his home. He ventured into the darkness, compelled by curiosity, but discovered an eerie emptiness that sent chills down his spine. Uneasy, he felt compelled to examine the chilling footage captured by a security camera. What he uncovered was an enigma. Out of nowhere, a ghostly white figure darted in front of the house. It looked like a pair of human legs sprinting, yet there was no head in sight. Numerous individuals are convinced that the entity captured in the video is far from ordinary, suggesting it possesses otherworldly qualities. This mysterious object is thought to be responsible for the eerie sounds that disturbed the man during that unsettling night. What are your thoughts on this? Tristan says the nightmare started years ago, and ever since then, he hasn't felt truly alone inside his own home. According to him, strange things began happening without warning. At first, it was small noises, footsteps when nobody was there, objects slightly out of place, doors that never seemed to stay shut. He tried to ignore it, thinking there had to be a normal explanation, but the activity didn't stop. If anything, it slowly became more intense, as if whatever was there wanted to make sure it was noticed. Over time, Tristan says he tried everything he could think of to make it stop. He rearranged the house, checked for electrical problems, even asked other people to stay over, just to prove to himself he wasn't imagining things. But the sounds kept coming back, always when he was alone, always when the house was quiet. It started to feel less like coincidence and more like something was deliberately trying to get his attention. One night, after hearing the same heavy noises again, Tristan finally decided he wasn't gonna ignore it anymore. He grabbed his camera and walked slowly through the dark house, following the sound toward the living room. The lights were low, the room completely empty, and for a moment, nothing seemed out of place. Then it happened. The single chair sitting in the middle of the room began to move. At first it shifted slightly, almost like it had been nudged. Then it slid across the floor on its own, slowly at first, then faster, scraping loudly as it moved with no one near it. There were no wires, no one pushing it, nothing around that could explain it. Tristan just stood there, frozen, trying to process what he was seeing. Right as the chair stopped moving, a loud knocking sound echoed through the house. One knock, then another, then several more, each one heavier than the last, coming from somewhere deep inside the walls. And just as suddenly as it started, everything went silent again. Tristan says that moment was a breaking point. He believes whatever has been in his house for years wanted him to see it. It wanted him to know it was there. He still lives with the activity, still hears things at night, and still can't find any real explanation. So the question is, what was actually moving that chair? Was it something paranormal, or is there a logical reason hiding somewhere in the dark that he just hasn't found yet? This CCTV footage captured this crazy encounter. Take a look. In the eerie streets of wild Argentina, a retiree found himself trapped by two armed teenagers, their intentions clear as they demanded his vehicle. The unexpected bravery of a nearby ice cream shop employee took everyone by surprise. As the chaos unfolded before him, the young man sprang into action without a moment's pause. He dashed across the street, confronting the criminals with nothing but his bare hands, driving them to escape in terror. He wagered everything he had that they wouldn't pull the trigger, and in a chilling twist, he emerged victorious. July 6, 2023, a woman walks into a police station with an iPad in a story that would tear a family apart. She had been looking for her little sister's device when she stumbled upon a gallery of horrors, images and videos that no child should ever be featured in. The most disturbing part? The man allegedly behind the camera wasn't a stranger. It was their father, Jason. When the police arrive at Jason's home, he immediately goes on the offensive. He plays the role of the wronged father, accusing the officers of traumatizing his children by arresting him in front of them. He paints himself as a man who values his daughter's purity above all else, lecturing the detectives on the dangers of the internet.
I can talk. Hey, Jason?
Oh, shit. Yeah, hey.
Hey, we have your PC for your arrest.
What?
Come out here with me, please.
For what? For what?
The probable cause for your arrest.
For what?
We'll explain everything in a minute, okay?
Okay.
I'm Sergeant Justin Davis, Camp PD, okay? I'm going to take you downstairs and we'll get that all sorted out in a weekend.
Thanks for traumatizing my children, you assholes. Pretty sure you're supposed to tell me what I'm being arrested for.
We'll get to that in just a second.
Sure we will.
Jason and Detective Melville, okay? Has he been Mirandized?
Not yet.
Hey, Jason, I'm going to read you your rights real quick, okay?
Can we not do this right here?
If that's what you
I
prefer.
live right here.
Okay.
Do you want to walk over to the car?
I would prefer that.
Okay. So, Jason, one of these officers is going to go get a ride for you, okay? They're going to take you down to our office where Detective Melvin and I are going to talk to you. But before we do that, I want to advise you of your rights, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to remain silent.
And I advise you of my rights. I've had a couple drinks, so I don't submit to anything you say to me right now.
Okay, that's fine.
'Cause I'm not sober.
I'm just going to read this, all right?
I don't
You have the right
accept
to
it.
remain...
It is a masterful performance of gaslighting designed to make the investigators feel like the villains in a story. But Jason doesn't realize just how much the police already know.
No, we get
Because
some
this is
context
the best way to get a misunderstanding. And arrest me in front of my f***ing kids. Cool.
I'm sorry about that. If there were a different way to do it, I'd be happy to do
It's
that.
cool. I've seen cops. I've seen all the shows. It's fine. You don't give a f***. You could have did this a better way. I don't even know what I'm being arrested for, but it could have been better than doing it in front of my f***ing 8-year-old.
Can I explain it to you? I don't want to give all the information out here for all your neighbors to hear, right? But
That'd be great.
We've received.
'Cause now I'm out of a house,
Jason,
out of a
I'm trying to
job.
explain it to you.
You just kidding me.
I'm trying to explain to you, okay?
Yeah, cool.
We've received a complaint concerning one of your children, all right? So we
From
wanna,
who?
I'd like to explain all that
Oh, it
to you,
doesn't matter,
but we're not
right.
going to do it here in the apartment
Then
complex,
can we
okay?
just go and get this over with?
As soon as the car comes around, we can go, all right?
Inside the interrogation room, the air grows cold. Jason sticks to a carefully crafted defense. He's just a single guy on dating apps. People send him adult stuff. He deletes it, and it must have accidentally synced to his daughter's iPad via the iCloud.
All right. Has anyone told you about anything today?
No.
While you're taken in custody? Okay. I apologize, first off.
No, it's kind of shitty to do that in front of my kids, but it's cool. They're traumatized for life. It's cool.
I know. We're detectives.
Dad's being arrested in front of him. My daughter's 8. It's cool.
Today we had to take you into custody because there was linked to your iCloud. We found on iPad.
What?
Yes. And so it's one of those things we have to take like seriously, and then
That's weird because I talk to people, they send me shit, I delete it. It goes, you can even look at my phone. It's in my deleted shit, I just delete it and I'm done with it. So I guess if it was linked, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But like, I don't ever want her to see that shit or anything. That's not her like iPad, but it's the iPad,
but she
right?
uses it, yeah.
Right.
I get it because
I get that shit. You can look at my deleted pictures. Like I delete it, it's gone. I don't want nothing to do with that. Like, so how it ended up there?
Because my kid has her iPad, which is actually mine.
Right.
Connected on the iCloud. And sometimes like text messages, like I had to like turn that off so she wasn't going through that because I understand.
Adult stuff is adult stuff, right,
exactly. Okay. Oh, no, you said people send these to you? So like
I just like meet people on Snapchat and I'll say, hey, can I see a picture of you? I have no idea what they're gonna send me.
He acts shocked, even mortified, at the suggestion that anything inappropriate could be on that device. He even tries to bond with the detective, acting as if they are both just victims of the Wild West of the digital age.
I want them to have the best opportunities in life, so I don't want them to see any of that shit. I don't want to see any of that shit. I have kids. You know, I have daughters. I gotta lead by example, right? Like, so I just feel so bad because I don't want them to think like, oh, Dad got arrested. What did Dad do? And then Dad's like, I didn't really do anything. I'm just like delete, and then it's in delete photo, you know, blah blah blah. So it's like
people make mistakes, and then there's reasonable explanations for everything usually, right?
There usually is an explanation, correct?
The turning point comes when the detectives stop talking about anonymous internet content and start talking about the specific images found on the iPad. They describe a very distinct item, a leopard print sleep mask.
Mortified that like even my kids would even like see anything like that, like mortified.
But there is acts with like on these pictures, and that's where we don't get these tips from when it's adult.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can you help me understand that?
I can, actually. Okay. People send me shit. I can't help what they send me. Through my phone, I haven't taken a single inappropriate picture of my kids, anything like that. I don't do that. So how I ended up with it, I'm gonna tell you the same thing. And you're not gonna find one single image of any of my on my phone or any other on my phone that was taken from my phone. I don't do that. So
there are photos.
What? Okay, that's a complete shock. Well, the only person that could have taken photos of her is my son.
Or?
Nobody else is there. I live by myself. I live with my mom for like 10 months. Unless it was dated before July of 2022, did not take pictures of her in any inappropriate way. You could bring her in this room right now. Now I'm really upset because you tell me there's inappropriate pictures. I didn't take those with my phone. I don't know who took them.
The moment the mask is mentioned, Jason's protective father persona begins to fracture. Knowing that the images are undeniably of his daughter and his own, he immediately attempts to throw his own teenage son under the bus, suggesting the boy must be the one exploiting his sister.
Like I said, we're all on the same iCloud. I was with my ex for like 2 years. I was always kind of worried about her son. You know, he's autistic. He's like autistic. I don't know how else to explain it, but she was always jumping on his back, having her carry her, like all these weird things.
Do you guys have do you know if she has like a masquerade half mask?
Yeah, she wears that sometimes to go to sleep.
Okay.
Has like leopard print on it, I think. That makes me think my son was doing something. Now she's being like exploited or something by somebody that knows her apparently. Okay, you all need to get like the IP address on wherever that picture was taken. Was not from me.
And I can assure you that's exactly the process we do, the investigation. Okay?
Sorry. What happened?
Say that again?
I don't know how that would happen. I mean, I leave him alone sometimes, so I go to the store and stuff, and I didn't expect anything like that to happen. That's like my biggest fear. And I want to jump to conclusions, but he's the only other person there when we're there. She never said anything to me about it. Obviously, he never said anything to me about it. It wasn't me.
The final blow comes when detectives bring up his digital footprint beyond the photo gallery. They found his history on specific message boards, threads dedicated to the most taboo and illegal topics imaginable. Jason's friendly demeanor vanishes. He realizes the rodeo is over. He stops talking about his best friend detectives and starts asking for a lawyer, realizing the digital trail he left behind is a map straight to a jail cell.
I'm just trying to understand.
No.
I know what you're trying to do, okay? Just, I guess, give me a lawyer at this point because I didn't take those pictures. I don't know where those pictures came from. Now I got somebody taking pictures who is getting blamed on me. The truth will come out. I'm not worried about it because I didn't do it.
Despite his elaborate excuses and attempts to blame his own children, the evidence was insurmountable. In September 2024, Jason entered a guilty plea for the possession and viewing of illegal depictions of a minor. He was sentenced to a year in county jail, served on weekends, followed by a year of supervised custody. He's now a registered sex offender, a permanent label for a man who claimed his only crime was trying to lead by example. A family's trust was shattered by the very person meant to protect it, caught by the digital breadcrumbs he thought he had deleted. People recorded this shocking moment after noticing something strange in their bathroom. Part of the ceiling had slightly collapsed and they could hear movement coming from above. Thinking an animal might be stuck in the roof, one of them carefully started pulling the damaged section down while covering his hand with a plastic bag for protection.
Abinaw patay na bali na samad. Nagdak mo sa ako? Kanara.
Ikutasan ko na pa. Narigalo ko na.
Kya, okay. Tuntaron dira.
But the second the ceiling opened, a large snake suddenly lunged out toward his head. He barely managed to jump back in time, avoiding what could have been a serious bite. Everyone in the room panicked as the snake dropped down from the roof. There were no updates after the video, but it could have ended much worse. In Maria de Fe, Brazil, a place where shadows linger and whispers echo in the night, a chilling incident unfolded on the hill as a catastrophic brake failure put 3 workers in grave danger. Racing down the treacherous slope, they had no choice but to confront the terrifying plunge into the abyss below. In a twist of fate, all 3 occupants emerged from the harrowing ordeal with just minor injuries. Take a close look at this unsettling image, which many people believe shows the Gray Man of Pawleys Island, one of the most famous ghost legends along the coast of South Carolina. For decades, locals have told stories about a shadowy figure that appears on the beach shortly before powerful hurricanes and deadly storms. According to the legend, seeing him isn't meant to harm you. In fact, many believe it's a warning. The story goes back hundreds of years. People say the Gray Man was once a young traveler who was on his way to visit his fiancée on Pawleys Island. While crossing the marshland, he became trapped in deep mud or quicksand and drowned before he could reach her. Since then, his spirit is said to wander the shoreline, unable to move on, appearing only when danger is close. One of the most well-known sightings happened in 1989, just before Hurricane Hugo hit the South Carolina coast. A couple, Jim and Clara Moore, claimed they saw a strange gray figure walking along the beach the day before the storm. They described it as a tall, shadowy shape that seemed to glide across the sand. When they called out to it, the figure vanished. The next day, Hurricane Hugo made landfall as a massive Category 5 storm, destroying homes across the area and causing billions of dollars in damage. When the Moors returned, they were shocked to find their house still standing, while many nearby homes had been completely destroyed. Ever since then, some people believe the gray man appears as a protector, warning those who see him to leave before disaster strikes. Others think the story is just coincidence mixed with local folklore, but the legend refuses to fade, and sightings are still reported before major storms even today. So what do you think? Is the gray man a guardian spirit watching over the island, or just a ghost story that grew stronger with time? This chilling footage was recorded by a camera inside a vehicle on the N2 highway between Orelo and Petra in South Africa. The unsettling visuals emerged in mid-March of 2022, depicting a harrowing accident that occurred amidst the dense fog. Disturbingly, individuals can be seen exiting their cars, standing anxiously on the roadside. The choice to remain on the sidelines might have saved a few lives as a truck sped towards them, oblivious to the chaos caused by the terrible visibility. They frantically waved their arms in a desperate attempt to halt the oncoming vehicle, but it was already too late. At least 2 individuals suffered serious injuries, while many others endured minor ones. And in a twist of fate, no one lost their life in this harrowing event.
Juan. 是啥？快！快上来，快点！快！快！差一点！我去，还好跑得快。
天哪！天哪！他们飞得快，快走！
我操！
我天哪！好吓人！我的妈呀！
不拍了，来这儿拍吧。 还好刚才跑得快，几秒钟河道全满了。
In the eerie shadows of Xinjiang, China, on the fateful day, January 5th, 2026, visitors near the Canis River were taken by surprise when a chilling wave of ice came crashing down, triggered by unusually warm winter temperatures melting the ice upstream. As the water surged ominously, the group scrambled to escape, barely making it out just moments before the deluge struck. A TikTok account known as R Haunted. The house has captured a lot of interest on the platform thanks to its eerie, seemingly supernatural footage. The material centers on the residence, which they assert is possessed by spirits, featuring a plethora of footage presented as proof. In the opening clip, eerie footage captured by a security camera reveals unsettling activity at the front door. At first glance, everything appears to be just fine, but then without warning, the door creaks open. Though an ajar door might be attributed to a mere draft or a careless closure, the events that unfold afterward are guaranteed to chill you to the core. As a figure nears the entrance, the door seems to shut by itself, sending chills down the spine.
Did somebody open the door? Did somebody open the door?
Unsurprisingly, the reactions to the video have been sharply split since its release. Some viewers warn that the homeowner needs to safeguard the house with salt and sage, while others speculate that the eerie door movement might be the result of fishing wire or string. But then the TikToker shared another clip, one that could reveal a darker force lurking beneath the surface. Check this out.
Holy shit, there's somebody out there.
Revisiting that moment when the man gazes through the window, an eerie presence hides in the darkness, sending chills down your spine, a shadowy, ominous presence. Yet as the man swings the door open, the shadowy figure disappears into thin air. He prowls through the shadows, but encounters only silence. It feels like the figure just vanished into thin air. In a frightening follow-up, it appears that the presence may have infiltrated the house. The scene opens with a man meticulously positioning his camera, driven by a chilling desire to document the eerie presence that has been tormenting him. Check out what he captured on camera. The door in the background creaks open slowly, and suddenly, intense glowing eyes emerge from the darkness. They vanish in the blink of an eye, yet the tension escalates as a shadowy figure looms ominously behind the couch. Moments later, the door crashes closed with an ear-splitting thud. In a frightful installment, the TikToker asserts that they have captured the voice of an enigmatic presence. Prepare yourself to hear what he recorded. Is this house really filled with spirits? With all this chilling footage, it's impossible not to question everything. Step into our eerie haunted house on TikTok and see if you can handle the chills. In July 2016, a strange video was uploaded to YouTube by a channel called Last Leaf Studio, and it quickly caught people's attention because of what appears to be hiding beneath a pedestrian bridge in Kiev, Ukraine. The video was titled "Some Creature Creeps Under the Pedestrian Bridge in Kiev," and at first nothing about the footage seems unusual. Cars move along the highway below, traffic sounds fill the background, and the camera slowly scans the area from the side of a walkway near the road. But after a few seconds, the person filming points the camera toward the bridge overhead, and that's when something disturbing comes into view. Underneath the bridge, barely visible in the shadows, there appears to be a large figure clinging to the underside of the structure. At first it just looks like a dark shape, but as the camera stays focused, the movement becomes clearer. Whatever it isn't standing on the bridge, it's hanging underneath it, gripping the metal or concrete and slowly moving across. If you watch closely, you can see what looks like arms and legs shifting one at a time, almost like the figure is crawling along the bottom of the bridge. The motion is slow and deliberate, as if it's carefully holding itself up while it moves forward. As the figure gets closer to the light, the outline becomes easier to see, and that's where the clip starts to get really unsettling. The shape looks oddly human, with long limbs and a body structure that resembles a person, but the position it's in doesn't make sense. It's hard to imagine how anyone could hold themselves underneath a bridge like that, let alone move across it. Some viewers think it could have been a person climbing as some kind of stunt, but that would require an incredible amount of strength and balance, especially without any visible safety gear. Others believe it might be some kind of trick of perspective, making it look like the figure is under the bridge when it's actually somewhere else. And of course, there are people who think the movement looks too unnatural to be either of those explanations. So the question is the same one people have been asking ever since the video was posted. If that's really a person under the bridge, how are they holding on? And why were they there in the first place? This chilling footage was recorded in the Erie Ranthambore National Park nestled in Rajasthan, India, and shows yet another instance of animals being fed up with the nonsense of humans. Take a look.
Oh my god, he's up. Oh my god, he's gonna jump on us.
Okay, go. That's why I'm just moving the vehicle. He said stop. I said no. हटाओ आगे.
We got it.
रोड रोड. रोड है तो. धीरे बढ़ाओ. धीरे बढ़ाओ. चलाओ 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 भगा 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 भगा
In a heart-pounding moment, a group of tourists found themselves in a safari jeep at a national park, blissfully unaware of the lurking danger. A tiger stealthily stalking them had its sight set on the group long before they realized it. The tension escalated as the video captures the chaos and shaky footage of the scene, perfectly reflecting the sheer terror of being pursued by a wild predator. The guides, equally rattled, frantically urged everyone to hit the accelerator, amplifying the sense of dread in this nail-biting encounter. Wild, huh? This happened in Rio do Sul, Brazil. The driver lost control, hit a lumber yard, and then flipped over. 5 people were on board, and all of them were saved with only minor injuries. On February 12, 2026, officers with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office were dispatched to a residence on Dunn Avenue after receiving a report of an armed domestic disturbance. According to the caller, 62-year-old Jose Cabrera had been drinking heavily and became violent during an argument with his wife. She told dispatchers that Cabrera had pinned her down while holding a knife and threatened to kill both her and himself. During the struggle, the woman managed to push him away and escape. Cabrera then left the home, got into his vehicle, and drove off before officers arrived. When deputies spoke with the victim, she provided a description of his vehicle along with his phone number. She also warned officers that Cabrera might be heading toward a home on Foxdale Lane, a location he was known to go to when he's upset. While officers were gathering information, one of them called Cabrera directly. He answered the phone, and the conversation immediately raised concern. During the call, Cabrera reportedly told the officer that he would not go back to prison and that police would have to kill him before that happened. Because of those statements and the earlier report involving a knife, officers treated the situation as potentially dangerous and began searching the area for his vehicle. Just after midnight on February 13, officers Roden, Griffiths, and Morris located the vehicle parked in the driveway of a residence on Foxdale Lane. As they approached, they saw Cabrera sitting in the driver's seat. The officers moved in carefully, keeping distance while giving verbal commands and attempting to talk him into cooperating peacefully. As Officer Griffiths got closer, he noticed a knife sitting within Cabrera's reach inside the vehicle. The officers continued speaking to him, trying to keep the situation calm. Instead of responding to their instructions, Cabrera suddenly grabbed the knife and stepped out of the vehicle.
All right, man. Let's go. Hey, don't grab that. Let's go. Let's go.
Drop it.
Shoot me.
Drop the damn knife. Damn.
Hey, somebody get let's start first aid on him.
Alright, you keep it on me. I got a bag.
With the distance closing and the knife still raised, the situation quickly reached the point where the officers believed they were in immediate danger. All 3 officers fired their department-issued handguns at nearly the same time, striking Cabrera and bringing him to the ground. Once he was no longer moving, the officers approached cautiously, secured the knife, and placed him in handcuffs. Even after the shooting, they immediately began providing medical aid while waiting for rescue personnel to arrive. Officers supplied emergency care and stayed with him until paramedics reached the scene.
I don't think this is it. I think it's the next one.
Next one.
There's that maroon. That's the maroon Honda Odyssey right there, isn't it? Yeah. He's right here in the car. Hey, man. Step out for me, okay? Hey, don't grab that. Hey, he's got a knife. He got a knife.
Drop it.
Shoot me.
Drop it.
Shoot me, mother. HQ, we got shots fired. Officer 77 stars 1068. Hey, somebody get let's start first aid on him. Somebody go back to the car, let's get first aid started on him. Hey, don't grab that. Hey, he's got a knife. He got a knife.
Drop it.
Drop that knife. Hey, somebody get let's start first aid on him. Somebody get first aid. Get the bag.
Cabrera was transported to a local hospital where doctors continued life-saving efforts, but he was later pronounced dead from his injuries. The incident is being reviewed according to department policy as a standard in officer-involved shootings. Investigators confirmed that the initial call, the phone conversation, and the encounter on Foxdale Lane all showed escalating behavior that led to the deadly confrontation. What began as a domestic disturbance earlier in the evening ended in a fatal encounter just hours later, after repeated warnings, commands, and attempts to resolve the situation without force.
Genauso aussieht wie die Mordfilme. Das sind diese Tiergruben, die so blubbern immer. Da kann man einfach Sachen reinwerfen und das loswerden.
Dolly ist irgendwie auch wirklich nicht die hellste Kerze Warum macht sie das nicht alles selber?
Nämlich, das Problem mit Liebhabern ist, irgendwann Land. Das ist hässlich. 1923, knapp ein Jahr nach dem Tod von Fred, trennt sich Dolly von Roy Clum, ihrem Lover, und Roy ist gekränkt.
In Porto West, Falakika, Germany, a driver didn't care that the barriers were closed and crossed the tracks anyway. As feared, the driver's car was hit and thrown into a parked trailer. Surprisingly, the man was only slightly hurt. He walked away and left the scene of the crime, but was quickly caught because he didn't have a license and was driving while drunk. The video you're about to see was filmed in England by a man observing a tree being cut down. I know this may seem like a strange way to kick off the clip, but trust me, there's a compelling reason for its inclusion. What do you think unfolds next?
Adjust the smart thermostat to make sure it's nice and cozy when you get home. Join over 1 million people using Hive products, and you could save up to £130 per. Search Hive to discover more.
As these individuals were in the process of felling a tree, they were completely unprepared for the cyclist who happened to be right beneath it when it came crashing down. Now, I'm no authority on safety protocols, but it seems rather reckless to allow a tree to topple onto an active roadway. Perhaps that's why the cyclist was caught off guard? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this unsettling situation in the comments. A local seller lost control of her boat in the strong currents of the Nam Lake River in Muang Phuong, Laos on January 21, 2026 during dinner at a floating hotel. This caused a lot of trouble. The boat started to sink right away, so the mother and young ones had to jump to safety. Guests and workers moved quickly, which is good because no one got hurt. Here is a short but extremely bizarre clip. I'm willing to bet my entire channel you won't be able to guess what transpires next. What drives someone to venture onto the street and begin spitting on their head? I'll leave that for you to think about. As time progresses, individuals find ways to adjust and significant transformations unfold. The situation in Ukraine began with an overwhelming presence of tanks and heavy artillery, yet now drones have emerged as a dominant weapon for both factions. Given that this technology is still relatively new, the methods of defense against these aerial threats can only be characterized as rudimentary when juxtaposed with the advancements in drone warfare. While it might seem like a desperate measure, trying to take down a drone with a standard AK is all they had left. It demanded an incredible amount of luck, something that these individuals in their pickup truck had on their side. Even though they had failed to bring it down, had the drone collided with their vehicle, they wouldn't be around to tell the tale. All they could do was struggle for survival in a situation that is both tragic and deeply unsettling. It's a harsh truth that for every video showcasing a glimmer of hope, there are countless others revealing a far darker reality. In Santiago, Mexico, an old man driving a fast pickup truck lost control and hit two parked cars just as one of the drivers went into a shop. The old man walked away with no injuries even though he was hit. I'd like to apologize ahead of time for how bad the quality of this clip is, but I promise you that the content is still shocking. You can see on the screen that this person, who is in no way prepared to do so, has taken apart a phone somewhat. What she does next is actually crazy.
Well, it doesn't look like the battery actually exploded or anything. So let's open it up.
I don't know why she chose to cut open the battery, but it was a bad idea because the battery exploded. There were clear warnings and signs on the battery, but she either didn't read them or just didn't care about them. Also, please don't try this on any other batteries. Jenna Alexis is known for documenting her solo camping trips deep in the wilderness, often traveling alone into remote areas most people wouldn't feel comfortable exploring. She's experienced, prepared, and used to being far from civilization, but during one trip into Crown Land, what started as a peaceful bushcraft adventure slowly turned into something that left her feeling genuinely unsafe. At the beginning of the trip, everything seemed normal. Jenna carefully made her way across a small river by balancing on fallen logs, scanning the forest around her for dry, standing trees she could use for firewood. She moved with the kind of confidence that comes from doing this many times before, chopping wood with precision, dragging heavy logs back toward camp, and collecting pieces of fat wood to help start a fire later that night.
This guy. I don't know how I didn't see that when I was walking in, but I'm gonna cut this down. These standing dead trees in your camp are called widowmakers because they can squish you in the middle of the night should they fall or should a gust of wind blow them over. It is a dead tree. I'm not harming any of the living trees around here. So we're gonna be taking that down for safety and for firewood. I cut a notch in my tree facing that way because I want it to fall that way, but it has a bit of a lean that way. So I'm gonna stay on the side. So either way it decides to fall, I'm gonna get out of the way really fast, but I'm hoping I can get it to go in that gap over there. That was sick. Falling trees can obviously be very dangerous, and for that reason I don't like to go against the laws of gravity, but there were some trees on the other side that were alive that I didn't want to hit and have the tree land on, and it worked. I'm learning things.
As she began setting up camp, her experience showed in the way she prepared. Knowing the area was known for bears, she picked a tall tree and hung her food bag high off the ground using a bear-safe method. She stretched a line between two trees, tied down her tarp tightly with the paracord, and made sure everything was secure before the sun started to go down. Her camp was simple, just a tarp shelter and a small fire setup, but it was clear she knew exactly what she was doing. The mood changed earlier in the day, though, when something unexpected happened near her parking spot. While she was still close to her van, a white SUV pulled up nearby. A man got out and walked toward her. saying he was looking for something he and his girlfriend had supposedly left in the woods during a previous visit. On the surface, the conversation sounded harmless, but something about the situation didn't sit right with her.
Goodbye to the campsite that once almost was. I don't think I left anything. Okay. Barely got everything in my bag because I didn't like fold everything properly. I'm just trying to get out of here. I have half my stuff in my food bag. It's gonna be okay. He's not here right now. Like, this is where he pulled out to. And he literally took a look at me and turned around and pulled out. But I know it was the same car. It was like a white SUV with a bag over the back of his window. And he turned around and I saw that same bag. So yeah, I'm fucking out of here. Even if that guy didn't mean any harm and he was just trying to camp here, I don't like when somebody knows where I'm camping when I'm by myself. Like, I want to be hidden and unseen, and I don't want some man to know that I'm alone in the woods.
Jenna stayed inside her van while talking to him, keeping distance between them. She later explained that she didn't want to reveal where she planned to camp, especially since she was alone. The man eventually walked off into the woods, but he stayed out there much longer than she expected. Instead of leaving right away, he lingered, and that made her uneasy. After a while, she cautiously stepped out and looked around the SUV from a distance. The windows were dark, and there was a bag covering part of the back window, making it hard to see inside. She couldn't tell if anyone else was in the vehicle. That uncertainty made the situation feel even worse. She memorized the license plate just in case and then tried to move on with her trip.
Just to explain what just happened there. This morning I got here pretty early and I pulled out to the spot that I thought was going to be my spot for the night, and I was getting my bag packed, getting ready to leave the car when this white SUV pulled up and this guy walked out, and he walked up to my campsite, or where my car was parked, and he was like, "Hey, me and my girlfriend were here this morning and I left something, I'm just gonna go look for it." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." But I wanted to wait inside the van until he got back out of the woods and left, so that I knew he wasn't like still out there and that he wouldn't know where I was gonna hike to. So I was waiting in the car for like a while, and it started to get suspicious that he was like out in the woods for that long. And so I walked up to his car, first of all to get the license plate, but also to see if his girlfriend was actually in there. But the windows were like heavily tinted to the point that I couldn't even see in. But I walked like up and around the car, so I would assume if the girlfriend was in there, she would have like saw me and been like, "Hey, what's up?" You know what I mean? So I walked around the car, I couldn't see if there was someone inside. I got the license plate and I went back to my car, and I just got a bad feeling from that.
Even though she went back to setting up camp, the encounter clearly stuck with her. You could hear it in her voice as she continued working, cutting wood and organizing her gear. But staying alert the whole time, she knew that whoever that man was, he now knew she was somewhere out there alone. Later, after the sun went down and she was heading back toward her campsite, she saw something that immediately made her stop. A white SUV drove slowly down the road nearby. The shape, the color, and the covered back window all looked exactly like the same vehicle from earlier. The driver slowed down, hesitated for a moment, and then suddenly turned around and left. That was enough for her. She said she couldn't tell for sure if the person was actually following her or if it was just coincidence, but the feeling she got was too strong to ignore. Being alone in the wilderness is one thing, but feeling like someone might be watching you is completely different.
So the day went fine, the sky was beautiful, the weather was great, I was having a great time out there, got a lot done, and then like 4 p.m. rolls around and I see that same car. I know it was the same car because when I looked at the license plate, I saw his back window was gone and he just had like a garbage bag over it. And I saw a white SUV pull up in the distance, and then I saw it like stop where I'm pretty sure he saw me, and then he turned around and left, and as he was leaving I saw that like garbage bag on the back. I was very uneasy, like, why did I see that man twice? Why did I never see his girlfriend that he mentioned? Why was he driving around a bunch of different campsites all day? I also don't like the vibe I got from him in the first place, and I just needed to get out of here. But that does really bother me because it sucks that I can't just come out here and have a good time. Like, I have to be worried about some creepy man wandering around at night. I like being a girl. Don't get me wrong, I love being a woman, I love femininity, but there are times in life I wish I was a man so that I didn't have to feel this type of way. Like, I already get nervous and kind of scared every time I come out and camp alone, but I usually just work through it because usually it's all in my head. Usually I just have to be strong and be brave and like work through those nerves and that fear.
Instead of staying the night like she planned, Jenna decided to pack up right away. She didn't take the time to organize her gear the way she normally would. She just grabbed what she could, loaded everything into the van, and left the area as fast as possible. As she drove away, she talked about how important it is to trust your instincts, especially when you're camping alone in remote places. Sometimes nothing actually happens, but the moment something feels wrong, it's better to leave than risk finding out the hard way. For her, the trip didn't end with a wild animal encounter or bad weather. It ended with a feeling that someone knew she was out there alone, and that was enough to turn a peaceful adventure into something she didn't want to stay for. What do you think? Was it just coincidence, or was that SUV really watching her? Some videos on the internet stay with you long after you've seen them, and one of the most disturbing examples comes from February 20th, 2003, during a concert at the Station nightclub in West Warwick, Rhode Island. That night, the band Great White had just taken the stage, and the crowd packed inside the small club had no idea they were about to witness one of the deadliest nightclub fires in American history. Only seconds after the band opened with their hit song Desert Moon, the tour manager set off indoor pyrotechnics as part of the show. Sparks shot up toward the ceiling, something the audience had likely seen at concerts before. At first, nobody seemed concerned. Many people thought it was just another part of the performance, but within moments, those sparks ignited the soundproof foam lining the walls and ceiling around the stage. The material caught fire almost instantly, and the flames spread much faster than anyone expected. You can even hear the band's lead singer, Jack Russell, say into the microphone, "Wow, that's not good," as the fire begins to grow behind him. As the situation became clear, panic set in. People rushed toward the main entrance, the same door most of them had come through earlier that night. Instead of using the other exits, the crowd pushed toward the front, creating a deadly bottleneck. In seconds, the doorway became jammed with people trying to escape at the same time, leading to trampling and chaos. One of the reasons this tragedy is remembered so vividly is because a cameraman named Brian Butler from WPRI TV happened to be inside that night. He was there filming a story about nightclub safety, something that makes the footage even harder to watch. His camera kept rolling as the fire spread, capturing the confusion, the screams, and the moment people realized this wasn't part of the show. Some of the video was later released on national news, and many who have seen it say the most haunting part isn't the flames, but the sound. At the beginning, there's shouting and panic everywhere, but later, when the camera is outside, everything becomes strangely quiet. Not because the danger was over, but because the screams you heard at the start were coming from people who never made it out. September 3rd, 2025, a date that looms ominously on the horizon, shrouded in mystery and anticipation. Emery was engulfed in sorrow as she learned the devastating news that her father's beloved dog had met its end. Haunted by loss and desperate to cling to the fleeting moments, she found herself scrolling through the chilling collection of videos featuring her beloved dog. In a chilling moment, she lay in bed at her father's house when the dog started barking in a strange and persistent manner, fixated on something invisible lurking in the shadows of the room. The barking echoed ominously around a small memorial, a haunting tribute to a beloved pet that had departed this world too soon. Emery continued to record, her heart racing as she struggled to comprehend the bizarre scene unfolding before her eyes, when suddenly, something utterly inexplicable occurred. The pages of a nearby book started to flutter ominously, twisting and turning as if guided by an unseen force. Then, as if compelled by a sinister force, the dog was abruptly thrust sideways across the floor. Emery later revealed that during her visits to her father's house, eerie and mysterious happenings frequently took place. But in this chilling moment, as she observed the dog barking at the memorial, the pages flipping by themselves, and the dog being hurled across the room, an eerie thought crept into her mind. Not long after the dog met its tragic end. Could there be something malevolent lurking in the shadows, tied to the tragic demise of the previous pet, casting a dark cloud over the house? Or is it merely a chilling coincidence? Emery felt a chilling sensation creep over him as he pondered the possibility of forces beyond comprehension influencing events that day. This happened in early 2026 and it transpires in an ongoing war zone. Watch this.
از اینجا میاد اینجا.
You witness strikes in Iran's capital, Tehran. Naturally, they stay informed about the disputes and other issues. Finding this was somewhat unexpected, yet not really at the same time, if you get what I mean. Here we are unable to provide you with the casualty numbers. Misinformation is pervasive and the fog of war is real. However, there would have undoubtedly been casualties here. The footage you're about to witness unfolds like a typical day, serene and unassuming. Two mothers and their young daughters stand outside their home in Brazil, waiting for the school bus. The morning air hangs heavy with stillness, the street tranquil, but in an instant, everything shifts. Without a hint of forewarning, chaos erupts. The women barely have time to react as a creature lunges, sending one of them crashing to the ground. Panic ensues. Screams pierce the air as the mothers frantically attempt to protect their children, shoving them behind while battling the beast with nothing but their bare hands. Neighbors, alerted by the commotion, rush from their homes, armed with whatever makeshift weapons they can find. Sticks, tools, pure instinct. The entire ordeal unfolds in less than a minute, yet in that fleeting moment, an ordinary morning transforms into a haunting memory that will linger forever. Karelia, a haunting expanse in northern Europe. We find ourselves in the eerie Republic of Karelia, a place shrouded in mystery and located in the depths of Russia. A gathering is unfolding, not that kind of gathering, the one with the cars. That was a chilling moment, but it's a rally, so it's not unexpected. But beware. If you're unaware of just how wild rally events can become, you might want to look it up, if you dare. On a chilling February 23, 2022, in the eerie shadows of Albuquerque, New Mexico, a still afternoon, the sun dipping low, casting eerie shadows that stretch and twist as darkness creeps in, children from George Sanchez Charter School are making their way home, unaware of the shadows lurking just beyond their path. 23 of them crammed into a yellow school bus, their laughter echoing, chatter filling the air. As the day draws to a close, suddenly out of the shadows, a white Ford Mustang emerges, hurtling toward Gibson Boulevard, caught in the thrill of a street race. The driver, later revealed to be 49-year-old Mario Perez, is barreling down the road at a terrifying speed of over 100 miles per hour. In mere seconds, the moment of impact unfolds. Mustang crashes violently into the side of the bus, metal twists grotesquely, glass splinters with a chilling crack, and the bus lurches ominously, toppling onto its side before coming to a halt in a swirling haze of dust and piercing screams. Within, turmoil reigns. Young ones hurl from their seats, backpacks and shoes flying through the air. A student's leg shatters in an instant. Another endures a shattered pelvis. Others emerge from the wreckage, their bodies marked with cuts and bruises, a haunting reminder of the chaos that unfolded. All are living, yet eternally transformed. First responders descend upon the chaos, sirens wailing ominously through the thick, swirling smoke. The driver of the Mustang is yanked from the wreckage, his leg gruesomely shattered. Witnesses describe the crash as echoing with a terrifying roar of an explosion. The footage, subsequently unveiled by authorities, captures the harrowing intensity of the crash, a seemingly ordinary day twisted into chaos in an instant. Perez found himself in a chilling predicament, facing charges of great bodily harm by vehicle and multiple counts of reckless driving. The gravity of his actions loomed ominously over him. He ultimately chose to plead no contest. The judge delivered a chilling verdict, sentencing him to a mere 4 years behind bars, a stark contrast to the 15 years that prosecutors had ominously sought. For the young ones, the words hold little weight. The haunting memories linger long after the final gavel falls. Many continue to face challenges when it comes to riding buses in the present day. The haunting echo of that day lingers, trapped in the chilling screech of tires and the eerie silence that ensued. Street racing lurks as an escalating menace in cities across the U.S. Adrenaline junkies tearing through public roads like their personal racetracks, pushing their vehicles to the brink of destruction, far beyond the limits of safety. In Albuquerque alone, chilling reports have surfaced, with police documenting numerous eerie incidents in recent years. Every soul teeters on the edge, thrust into a perilous contest they never signed up for. Just a single careless choice can transform the ordinary into a nightmare. One race that should have never been run, and 23 children haunted by the chilling truth of how swift normalcy can vanish into darkness. Those children emerged from what was meant to be an ordinary journey home, but the shadows of fate had other plans. I know I make you guys play the guessing game a lot, but I'll be genuinely impressed if anyone can predict what happens next. You might expect a vehicle crash, maybe some kind of animal running through the crowd, or even a loud explosion. I had plenty of guesses myself, but what actually happens is far stranger. Out of nowhere, an intoxicated man on a scooter suddenly comes speeding straight into a crowded marketplace. People barely have time to react before he plows through the area, creating chaos in seconds. It honestly feels like something out of a low-budget movie scene. When authorities later questioned him about the bizarre behavior, he admitted he had been distracted and didn't realize he was heading directly into the busy market. In April 2020, a drone inadvertently recorded something eerie and possibly classified in a chilling scene just off the coast of New York, on a small island that looms ominously from the mainland. A cadre of workers, clad entirely in stark white hazmat suits, can be seen excavating a deep trench. The air is thick with an unsettling tension as they labor under the watchful gaze of the darkened sky. A forklift ominously lowers large sealed containers into the ground, shrouded in an unsettling silence. Mysterious containers that resemble coffins in an unsettling way. In the shadows, a group of men in black suits lurks, their eyes fixed on the unfolding scene, maintaining a chilling distance that heightens the tension. Their unsettling behavior hints that the contents of those boxes could be perilous, radioactive, toxic, or something far more sinister. Yet upon closer inspection, the form of the containers evokes a profound sense of unease. They take on the eerie shape of human bodies. It's hard to shake off the feeling of dread, and before long, the chilling reality was revealed. It was revealed that the boxes held something truly chilling: human remains. During that eerie period, the world found itself ensnared by the relentless grasp of the COVID-19 pandemic. This eerie footage reveals the hidden burial of victims on Hart Island, a site historically known for mass graves, now enveloped in an unsettling aura of mystery and dread. The footage captured by the drone was chilling, sorrowful, and profoundly unsettling, a chilling glimpse into a moment in history that was never intended to be witnessed from above. On January 22, 2026 at 12:40 p.m., San Diego police officers responded to the intersection of Euclid Avenue and Imperial Avenue for a report of a stolen vehicle. Officers were not immediately able to locate the stolen vehicle, a white 2005 Lexus. At 1:30 p.m., an automated license plate reader flagged the stolen vehicle be the same intersection where it was first reported. Officer 1 located the stolen vehicle driven by 39-year-old Edwin Thames, traveling east on Imperial Avenue from the intersection. After briefly stopping, Thames drove away at a high rate of speed, leading to a pursuit. The two front tires in the stolen vehicle deflated after spike strips were deployed. Thames continued eastbound on Lisbon Street to Jamacha Road. Thames ran multiple stop signs and red lights on Jamacha Road before crashing into a light pole and coming to a stop.
Get your hands up! He dropped the gun. He dropped the gun. He dropped the gun. Hey, can we get 1141 for an officer? Street light fell on her windshield. Get on the ground. Yeah. Hey, Henry, get back here. We don't know if there's a second person. The seat's all the way back. You got lethal? I got taser. Get on the ground! Get on the ground now!
Thames raised his hands and got on his knees, a short distance away from what appeared to be a firearm. Officers gave Thames repeated commands to get on the ground and not to reach for the gun. Despite multiple commands, Thames reached to his right toward what appeared to be a firearm. Officer 1 deployed his taser and Officer Henry Ingram discharged his service weapon, striking Thames.
You got lethal? I got taser. Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Or you're gonna get tased! Is that a real gun? Get on the ground!
Oh, I see the gun.
Yeah? Is that a real gun, Henry?
You want to?
Yeah, it is.
Do not reach for the gun! Do not reach for that
All
gun!
units on scene, she dropped the gun. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Hey, push it. You're good?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Good. Hey, Danny, you good? Hey, bump on this side. Bump on this side. This side. Use this side. Use this side. Hey, we're gonna use this side. Hey, bro, if you reach for a weapon, you're gonna get shot. All right? You guys ready? No, we're good. We're good. Push up. There's a lot of us. Hey, someone get a taser up. Taser up.
You got lethal?
Yeah, I got lethal. Get taser up because he's not getting down. Hey, get on the ground. Get on the ground now, or you're gonna get tased.
Is that a real gun?
Get on the.
Get on the ground!
Yeah.
Is that a real gun?
Hey, you want to? Yeah, it is. Do not reach for the gun. Do not reach for that gun. Hey!
Shots fired. Shots fired.
You guys good?
I got the firearm.
Just leave it. Hey, where's my aid bag? Grab my aid bag. Hey, once we cuff him, just get him naked and I'll work on him. You know, and just give me the mechanism of injury.
All right, Henry. I got him.
Wherever he's injured, just let me know.
Back up. Cut him up.
Officers rendered medical aid until the arrival of San Diego fire rescue personnel. Thames was transported to hospital in stable condition. The firearm found at the scene was later determined to be a gold lighter, manufactured to appear as a revolver. Thames has been criminally charged by the district attorney's office for the following: felony evading in a motor vehicle, possession of a stolen vehicle, vehicle theft. An officer was injured as a result of a light bulb that was struck by Thames, landing on their patrol vehicle, damaging their windshield. The officer was treated at the scene for minor glass debris-related injuries, but was not transported to the hospital. A garbage worker in Ohio is shown in the sleek video simply carrying out his duties. This isn't your typical day, however. Watch and see what I mean. That response says a lot. Imagine For example, that as you're loading the truck with trash, you suddenly spot a man, not just any man, in the dashcam footage, a wanted suspect. Yes, that came from a police vehicle. To say this is a surprising revelation would be a huge understatement. On May 24th, an unsettling event unfolded on Shushan Road in Luzhou, southern China. A truck loaded with goods was cruising down the street when, without warning, a section of the road gave way, plunging into a dark, gaping abyss below. The abyss measures approximately 30 square meters and plunges down to a depth of around 4 meters. Thankfully, there were no reported injuries. The area is now sealed off with emergency vehicles rushing into the desperate rescue operation. The reason behind the chilling event remains shrouded in mystery as the investigation continues. Dashcam footage in Sao Paulo, Brazil captures something utterly terrifying. Take a look.
Pegou? Não. Acontece com a gente. Putz. Quebrou meu vidro, mano. Não, pegou não. Aqui assim? Daí embaixo? Assim embaixo? Acho que ele veio pra tirar o dedo.
Picture yourself alone in a taxi, scrolling through your phone, unaware of the chilling presence lurking just outside your window. Everything is just fine. A figure suddenly shatters the glass, reaching in with a desperate grasp. The driver took off in a frantic rush, a narrow escape that thwarted the attempt to snatch the phone away. But wow, I never would have expected a thief to be so audacious. On May 20th in Oligos, a child riding a horse encounters a terrifying accident with a car. Watch closely. A chilling clip making the rounds online captures the harrowing moment a child on horseback crashes into a vehicle. In the footage, you can catch a glimpse of a boy of unknown age eerily riding a horse as he journeys down the desolate road. Moments later, he crashes into the parked car, the impact sending a chill down your spine. Can you share any additional information about this unsettling event? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below the video. Bazar Kakba lurks in the shadows of the Kazakh city of Shimant, a residential area that holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. Don't be deceived by the initial scene, as what follows is bound to be intense. The once peaceful Crane residential area became a chilling tableau of destruction as a driver careened out of control, crashing into a gas distribution cabinet with terrifying force. Following the crash, the intense heat from the wreckage reportedly set off the gas, resulting in a massive explosion. He barely escaped in the nick of time, just moments before the explosion, ultimately saving his own life. The situation remains uncertain regarding any additional victims. In a quiet Florida backyard, a routine afternoon in the family pool nearly turned into a silent tragedy. 12-year-old Austin McMillan was swimming with his behavioral therapist, Jason Paquette, when the two decided to see how long they could hold their breath underwater. But as the seconds ticked by, Austin realized this was no longer a game.
To see him go under the water and somehow get a hold of me and swim me to the shallow end and up on the stairs, it's like incredible. I got chills.
Jason had lost consciousness beneath the surface, his body drifting toward the bottom of the pool. Despite being nearly half the size of the grown man, Austin's survival instincts kicked in. He dove down, grabbed Jason's dead weight body, and somehow managed to haul him through the water and onto the shallow steps.
He dragged my full dead body, like dead weight, and I'm I'm almost double his size.
With Jason's head above water, but his lungs filled with fluid, Austin sprinted into the neighborhood screaming for help. When no one answered, the 12-year-old realized he was the only one who could stop a looming death. Returning to the poolside, Austin began performing chest tackles, a life-saving technique he later admitted he learned not from a class but by watching a scene from the show Stranger Things. He pumped Jason's chest with everything he had until water finally erupted from the therapist's lungs.
Any help? He just like started hitting my chest, and then he started using both of his hands, and that's when water started coming out of my lungs and I started to be able to breathe.
By the time Austin's father arrived, the boy had already cheated death. Jason, who has worked with Austin for 3 years, remains uncertain what caused him to black out, but he is certain of one thing: he is alive only because his young friend refused to let the water claim him.
He's braver than he gives himself credit for. He's more capable than he gives himself credit for. So he should be very proud of himself.
He's gonna be carrying that with him for the rest of his life, that he's a hero.
For years, I've shown some wild gas station clips, and this one is up there. Watch. On February 18th, a dangerous incident unfolded at a gas station in Raipur, India, when a man reportedly ignored warnings and began smoking near the fuel pumps. Employees and bystanders told him several times to stop, since even a small spark can ignite gasoline fumes. Instead of putting the cigarette out, he continued, and within moments, things escalated. The flame from the cigarette suddenly ignited nearby fuel vapors, causing a burst of fire around the pump. The worker operating the pump quickly reacted, but in the confusion, gasoline that had already caught fire splashed outward, spreading flames across the ground and even back toward the man who had started it. The scene turned chaotic as people rushed away from the spreading fire. The man who lit the cigarette ended up getting burned in the very blaze he had caused. Authorities later reported that he survived the incident but was taken into custody along with another individual connected to the situation. The full extent of their injuries was not publicly confirmed. The incident serves as a reminder how dangerous fuel vapors can be. Something as small as a cigarette can turn a routine stop at a gas station into a serious fire within seconds. On April 13th, 2025, a creator from the UK named Grizzly Gaz posted a new video to his camping channel. Gaz brought his dog Fendi along for a trip into the hills after he had been away from filming for a long time. He wanted to find a quiet place to clear his mind and enjoy the nature around him. By the time the sun went down, it was obvious that a strange presence or a person might have had a different plan for his night.
So, we're finally out, and as you can see, Fendi's enjoying herself. He's such an idiot. How long is it since I last did a video? A couple of months, isn't it? Now I just really just need to get out and get away from it all. And I really hope that nothing weird happens tonight, because I just need to be out in a bit of solace. Come on, mate, you can do it. Come here, mate, you got turd hanging out your ass. And as you can see, absolutely glorious out. But I've waited until 6 o'clock at night to come out, because obviously it's too warm for Fendi. It's been about 20 degrees Celsius today, -1 tonight. Nuts, isn't it? Hey up, what's this? Someone's little shelter. There's loads of these structures up here. They were all built by navvies when they were building the reservoirs. There's reservoirs all over here, dotted about everywhere. Look, this is where one of them's been mined out, or that might have even been a dwelling there. Another dwelling there. All these, that would have been a dwelling there. All these walls here, look, dry stone walls. All little villages and that dotted about up on moors. Absolutely love it up here.
The area it shows is a remote moorland where the wind never seems to stop blowing. You can see the broken remains of old stone houses spread across the hillside. Workers who built local reservoirs lived in these ruins many years ago. As Gaz walks through these old villages, the stone walls feel like they are still holding on to something from the past. It feels as if a spirit or a memory still lingers among the cold rocks.
I might have to find somewhere a bit different. Mind you, it is a bit early. There's another corridor into some more dwellings, another little village. This would be my preferred spot with this view out over here. And the sun will rise, sun will set over there, and it should rise over there somewhere. So I'd love to pitch tent here and get a nice sunrise in the morning and a sunset tonight, but we'll see.
Gaz set up his tent right next to one of these crumbling structures. He hoped to watch the sun go down and come back up from this high spot. The air was biting and the temperature was going to drop below freezing. Initially, he was happy to be alone, but the atmosphere soon started to feel very heavy and wrong.
Mate, I knew something was going to go wrong. This sleep pad, it's just gone down. I've blown it up twice and I've made sure that the valve is seated correctly. Now I don't know if Fendi's popped it by walking on it, but she hasn't popped any of my other ones. But I've had a bottle of wine and I've drove here, so I'm just gonna have to stick it out. Normally when this had happened I'd just chill out for a bit and then go home, but because I've had a bottle of wine I can't drive, so stuck here. I knew something was going to go wrong tonight. I knew it. But luckily I've got this foil blanket underneath, so I'm not cold yet. But it's going to get down to -1 tonight.
As the light faded, his peaceful night began to fall apart. His sleeping pad would not stay inflated, so he had to wrap himself in an emergency foil blanket. He ate a simple meal and tried to relax despite the gear failure. Before going to sleep, he used his camera to explore the ruins in the dark with Fendi. That is when the situation became very tense.
Right, it's pitch black now. 10 o'clock at night. Let's go for a little wander, shall we? Oh, look at them little legs, man. You alright, dude? Come this way, pass this way. It breaks me heart, mate. Oh, look. One of these little village things. Let's see what's down here. Imagine living up here back in like the 1800s or whatever. No electricity, no running water. Nothing. You just have to have a campfire, wouldn't you, with your mates, huddled up together to keep warm. Looks like somebody else has been up here having a bit of a fire, dragging pallets and stuff up. And if you don't know what a navvy is, or was, they were, I think it's short for navigational engineers. And they used to build all the railways and reservoirs and stuff, and they were real tough men, heavy drinkers, and I suppose you'd have to be out in these moorlands and that for months at a time, sometimes years, building these railways and reservoirs and stuff. I imagine there'd have been a fair few accidents, maybe even deaths up here.
While he talked about the stone houses, a quick flicker of movement caught his eye. He was miles away from any road and there were no other campers nearby. He tried to tell himself it was just a small animal. However, he could not stop thinking that someone was hiding in the shadows watching him.
Right, I'm gonna see if I can get my head down for a bit on this crappy mat. If anything happens, then I'll let you know. Hello? Hello? Fendi, shut up. Oh, are you that duck then? Pretty sure I heard some footsteps, but it's probably a bird, isn't it? No sheep about, I can't see any eyes anywhere. Oh, look how pretty it is. Alright, mate. Yeah, I can hear birds over there. I can hear them windmills, or should I say turbines, clunking about.
I feel terrible for Gaz because being alone in the wilderness while feeling watched is a terrifying experience. This is why I never like to visit old ruins after the sun goes down. Inside the tent, Fendi began acting very restless. The dog was scratching at the floor and moving toward the door as if she heard a threat. Suddenly, Gaz heard a very strange sound right outside the thin walls of his tent. It was not the sound of the wind or a bird. It sounded like something large was moving nearby. He looked outside with his light but saw no eyes and no animals. He only heard the spinning of distant wind turbines and his own fast breathing. Throughout the night, Gaz kept waking up to make sure Fendi was okay. At one point, the dog stared at the side of the tent with a look of pure focus. It looked like she was watching a person stand right on the other side of the fabric. Nothing was ever caught on the camera. By morning, the moorland was quiet, but the fear stayed with him. It was the thought of not being alone that bothered him more than the freezing cold. It starts as a routine traffic stop on a sun-drenched Florida road, but something is immediately off. 22-year-old Jonathan is pulled over and the tension is palpable from the moment the officer approaches. He's visibly shaking, his hands trembling, as he leans against his car. He tells the officers he's in a desperate rush to get his mother to the hospital, a common excuse, but his demeanor suggests something much deeper than a simple hurry.
Put it in your car, you taking longer than expected. Alright, I gotta pat you down. Put the phone on top of that. Put your hand on top of the car. Bro, I'm not telling you put your hand back. Max, no weapon on you? Alright, no needle, no knives. I'm trying to speed this shit up. Alright? Okay, that's fine. I don't mind. That's your car keys. Alright. Alright, turn around. Alright, do me a favor. No. Arch your leg forward. Like, put your leg forward and cross it. Sit down, bro. Sit down and cross your leg.
Alright, look, bring your feet out.
Okay, I'm trying
Look,
I'm trying to be
relax.
fast.
Bring your feet out and cross them. That's it. Bring your feet out. Look.
Jonathan's behavior becomes increasingly erratic. He claims to be in the middle of a panic attack, his breathing heavy and disjointed. The police try to talk him through it, offering a strange mixture of commands and comfort, but their words seem to bounce off him. He remains silent for long stretches, staring into the distance with a hollow look before suddenly snapping back with defensive, sharp questions. It's a chilling display of a man on the absolute edge of his composure.
22. Jonathan, right?
While one officer begins the search of Jonathan's car, they believe they have the situation stabilized. Jonathan is instructed to sit on the ground with his feet crossed. And for a moment, it looks like the investigation will end quietly, but in this line of work, the most dangerous moment is often the one where you think you've gained control.
You see how you don't talk, right? And then when you want something from me, you want me to talk to you, right? You see this, right? So now if you ask me something and I ignore you, don't say anything.
In a heartbeat, Jonathan sees his opening. With the officers' backs turned and their focus on the vehicle, he doesn't run for the woods. He sprints for the driver's seat of a police truck.
19 and 174.
Personnel units, Unit B 349 and 356 is subject to leave northbound. In a 2022 Chevy pickup, blue in color. Tag is Bravo Foxtrot 11. Any units is clear in 15.
The quiet afternoon erupts into high-speed pursuit. The radio traffic becomes a frantic blur of coordinates and vehicle descriptions as backup units scramble to intercept the stolen Chevy pickup.
So, this is 17. Vehicles approaching Miami Gardens from 19th Avenue.
356 is a white male fleeing, blue top, gray bottoms.
The chase ends as violently as it began. After a series of reckless maneuvers, the stolen truck is finally forced to a halt. The officers move in with overwhelming force, knowing the level of danger Jonathan has just inflicted on the community. They swarm the vehicle, their commands barely audible over the screaming sirens and the slamming of doors.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Turn around, bro. Turn around. Turn around.
3 by 6 keep units on 3.
In a vehicle. Last week, 19th Avenue at 183 straight. 356.
Miami Gardens, but we need more info where the subject actually is.
356 around the gardens.
356.
Give me your other hand! Give me your fucking hand!
356.
Give me your arm!
Get it!
Give me your arm!
Give me your hand! Give me your fucking hand!
Give me your arm!
Give me your hand!
329.
You got it, man?
In the end, Jonathan is secured in the back of a cruiser, his short-lived escape over. But the shock of how quickly a supposed panic attack transformed into high-speed felony lingers. It's a disturbing reminder of the total unpredictability of human behavior and just how fast a routine day can spiral into absolute chaos. Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant, friends.